what I realized big time over the last year about that wealth piece, because I feel like since probably the first time I read Black Enterprise, like I'm like a teen, right?
Yeah.
I've been educating myself on entrepreneurship, not realizing that it was a different education for wealth.
I had the same realization, different way.
Yeah.
So again, I was raised in a working poor household in a working class neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was right. And I understood by the time I got to Black Enterprise, this is based on readings from Dennis Kimbrough. It was a different mindset that I had to adopt to go from low income to middle income. The mistake that we make when we get to successful middle class income is we think that's the mindset that's going to get us to wealth.
To wealth.
And I was like, I've been operating at the middle income thing almost until we had that conversation.
Sure, yeah.
I think I was waking up before that, but your conversation codified it for me. I was like, I got to think differently to get to wealth.
Absolutely.
Even though I've been successful and prosperous as a middle class professional, that's not going to get me to Earl Grey. Like Earl Grey has achieved wealth. The Grey's family has wealth.
Yes.
And of course we know there's wealth that's way beyond that.
Yeah.
And so you're right. It's like there's different mindsets.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing, because like I literally am a student of business, so I'm always studying that, and I was like, okay, just to show you how to create money.
Yes.
It don't show you how to generate and preserve wealth.
Exactly.
And probably the biggest light bulb moment for me that was frustrating when I saw it was just a few years ago. And I mean, you come from banking background, so you know this. But one of my clients had brought up being an accredited investor.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that? And she talked about it. And the thing that frustrated me was that in the years leading up to that, I had everything I needed to become an accredited investor. I just didn't know what it was. So I directed my money other places, other ways. So then when I'm like, okay, it's these opportunities that I'm not even privy to. That they holding me out to build wealth that will catapult me further.
Absolutely.
And literally, I was like, how many other black people is it like me that, I'm from the DMV.
Yeah.
Black folks make a lot of money on their jobs, right? But literally, like, if you just don't know what the goal is, you just taking that money and going to the left when the real road to riches is to the right.
Yeah.
But that's the two things. There's two things: that your favorite word and your favorite word, education and mindset.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Because your experience, that whole conversation about being an accredited investor, I experienced even on a more basic level. I could have afforded to buy a home probably by the time I was in my late 20s. But I came from a background where when you made more money, you rented a nicer place. You rented a nice place in a nicer neighborhood. There were homeowners in my family, but they were all really old people. Like my grandparents owned their home. So it was like, someday when I make X amount of money. And so the reason I ended up buying my first home, which is the home I bought now, I was 42 by then. Once I knew what it took to buy a home and what that was all about, and it was because Black Enterprise launched the home ownership contest at the time, and Bush was looking at us, how many of y'all see that just own your own home? And I was like, how are we going to be telling people that they need to buy a home to build wealth and you still renting an apartment? But my thing is, I was like, wait, I know better. And that's the thing. You can, and this is the thing that convicts me on a regular basis, and I have to challenge myself. Most of the stuff I learned to share and teach as a journalist did not overcome my mindset that I was, you got to intentionally change my mind.
Right.
You'll still do all that. That's why you can have a PhD and not know how to balance a checkbook. Like, literacy is not enough without a change in mindset. And changing mindset is not enough if you don't have an education. Like, you have the right mindset, but if you don't know that there's another path to take, you won't take it. But if you have the education, which I have all of it, but I don't change my mindset, I'm going to still do what I've been doing because that's what it feels natural to me.
And we're indoctrinated by this glorification of making money, though.
Right.
Like there is no glorification of building wealth. Like, you don't see that, right? There's a glorification that I'm a 6-figure earner, or I'm a 7-figure earner, or I'm this, but nobody says, I got a X amount net worth. Like, what's your net worth? And
here's what's the danger of that is. And I literally posted about this on Instagram and Facebook. It was a sentence I put in here. I was like, no longer I'm going to be held hostage to the numbers in my bank account or my credit score.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't want a lot of money in my bank account or I don't want a good credit score. But I said, but when I die, this goes to legacy. Ain't nobody at my home going away talking about, remember you had that great credit score?
Yeah.
And I said, if they do, run their asses out of the building.
Yeah.
You know? But so it's a way to measure our progress. It's a way to set goals. Yes, we want to make money. Yes. But if you start tying your worth to that,
it's what we talked about with business in the interview, right? What is a 6-figure business? It's the milestone, not the goal.
Right.
So we got to reframe. We're like, you know, being a great earner, all these things are a great milestone. That's like what you should be stepping towards, but that's not like the end destination. It's me to do that end destination, like you said, is have a net worth this much.
Exactly. Also, if you're not sure about what if your goal is wealth creation, but you think your goal is to maintain a 100 credit score, right? Then what'll happen is you have to take risks and make decisions to build the wealth. That's going to bring your credit score down.
Yeah, exactly.
And then people are like, no, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. And that's when businesses are stillborn. Because we've been taught, indoctrinated in black culture, don't take no risk.
Exactly.
But guess what? Risk is necessary to build great wealth. And so sometimes the amount of money in your account is going to dip.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're going to bounce a check. Sometimes your credit
Sometimes you're going to file for bankruptcy. So it's so funny because that, like, even that, right? Like, as business owners, people think about that word bankruptcy like, oh my God, like, no, it's restructuring your business. So
I'm guilty of that. Again, my early as a financial journalist, I was like, no, you don't ever file for bankruptcy. That's horrible. That makes you a horrible person. I was guilty of that.
But it's the mindset, it's the application. And I think, and that's why I love, the space that we're in now, though, because these conversations are happening and people are realizing that, okay, great, you make a lot of money. But again, at the end of the day, if you're working hard for the money and money's not working hard for you, then you're playing the game all wrong, right? And so how do you take that money, put that money into something that's going to build wealth, and then you keep recycling that, opposed to just keeping up with the Joneses or trying to use money as a way to live a great life. Because the truth of the matter is that once you start to get to wealth, you're gonna live it's a byproduct of living a good life. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the revelation that came to me when I read Dennis Kimbro's The Wealth Choice. If you're making good money, but you got to use literally all of your time to do it, are you really making great money? That was the revelation. That's why I started wanting to be only 2 days a week. I gave money back to me and said, listen, I want to be less involved in operations. I'll still be a senior VP, because my bet was, if I got some of my time back, I could make more money with that time that I could get paid for a guarantee. And that and the thing is, if you got to spend all your time, you're going to make the money and not be able to enjoy it.
Exactly.
And so the goal is to make as much money as you can, bringing value, as opposed to how many hours did I put in, how many articles did I write in my day. So, because, and I'm older than both of you guys, at some point, you're going to run out of time.
And honestly, though, that's the true definition of wealth.
Absolutely.
Is the command of your time. The more you can command your time, time equals wealth, not money. And I think that we've been taught that money equals wealth, but that's not true, right? Because like you said, as a banker, right? I remember I had a client, he's worth $22 million. But he was stressed, right? He was stressed. He was never happy. He was always on edge because one mistake could tank everything. And so, all right, yes, you got all this money, but you are a slave to your own success.
Yes.
So he wasn't wealthy. He was, you know what I'm saying? He had this money, but that wasn't wealth. What's wealth is, having the time to, having the structures, the systems, you could delegate stuff.
Wealth is having the time to say, oh, my mentee is having a program in Atlanta. They want me to come down.
Yes.
That's why I'm here.
Exactly.
I'm going to come down. I'm going to drive the bus.
Exactly.
And by the way, I'm going to hang out with my dudes.
Exactly.
And still get some work done, by the way. But I'm doing what I really want to do. And last weekend, I'm training for competition. It's me doing the things that I want to do. I'm still making a good living doing what I want to do. And I tell my mentees, I said, you had asked me to do this in 2015, 2014. I'd have been, no, I got to work. I can't. I got something I got to do. So you're absolutely right. And when I said on social media yesterday, it's like, it didn't start dawning on me until I was about 50. But you ain't got to wait that long to figure that out, which is to your point of education. focus on making the most money for your time and not just giving up all your time to get money.
Yeah. Fast out. I'll tell you, look. So fast out to Tyler. So this is Lamar. So I know it's so funny because the last time I was here, I was exchanging, value for money, and then he gave me this one little hack that like 10x what I was doing, right? So you gotta think about it. So before, and that's that's the wealth mindset, right? So before, I'm running a program and I'm doing one-on-one, which means that from a time perspective, the capacity of how many people I can meet is limited. He says, yo, how about you do it all? You do the one-on-one, but with multiple people and charge more.
It feels foreign, like at first, right? It's like, who does that?
Right. I'm like, wait, so you telling me I'm gonna work less time with more people and charge more? And it works,
But it goes to what you said, not to quote Damian Dwin, who I told you I interviewed for the Wealth Building Real Estate Conference. He's like, big ideas require a big ask.
Yeah.
And we're still getting comfortable. I know from my background, getting comfortable with the big ask.
Yeah.
Like if you come from a background where I know my mother raised me and my siblings on like $5,000 a year plus public assistance.
Yeah.
So the first time I was complaining, I was like, man, Mom, I need a raise. They only pay me $50,000 a year. She's like, what?
What
are you complaining about? Right. But so she means well. But the thing is, it made us think that the big ask, the small ask, was a big ask.
Yeah.
And, where we got our counterparts rolling around talking about, I just have an idea in my head, but I want that venture capital firm to give me $10 million just for a thought. And they think nothing of it.
Yeah.
We think we got to build it all out, get all perfected to ask for 1/10.
Yeah.
And so he's like, no, to build the kind of businesses you're talking about, Lamar, about businesses that are big, that employ, that grow, you got to have big asks.
Yeah.
And the first big ask has to be of yourself. Like you said, 100,000 is a good, first step. Yeah. But it's only a first step. Yeah. Say, listen, my goal is to build a $10 million business in the next 5 years.
Yeah. But that shows too how vital it is for the circle you're in and the people you're around, right? Because what I see all the time is entrepreneurs are constrained to what they saw growing up. And most entrepreneurs, once you get some leverage and growing, you quickly, because we're not from like all this like wealth laying around, right? You quickly can become the biggest one in your family.
What'd you say in the car?
You can become the biggest one in the community, the biggest one with your boys, the biggest one with. I went one of my partners from high school that passed, so I went to his funeral and I was talking to my other brothers in high school. We dabbing up, in front of, you seen nobody in a while, what's going on.
Yeah.
He's like, man, look at us.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that we all be great fathers one day? It was like me. I thought I was gonna be a great. I was like, hold up. I was like, this is like me. I thought I'm pretty much in my core that I was gonna be a great father, even when I was in high school, right? But you gotta watch. So even in business, I'm seeing entrepreneurs that are growing, and like I said, they quickly become But if you don't get around other people that are in that circle or beyond it, it's easy because then when you're the biggest one, of course, besides everybody asking you for everything, it becomes, why you doing that?
Yeah.
Why you not using your degree?
Yeah.
You making. $250,000 a year, and everybody else making 30, right? And your family and friends, it's like why do you need more than that? Right. It's like why do you need more?
Yeah.
And then the other side is the mindset piece. You see entrepreneurs that have scaled behind, maybe they got a 7-figure business, but it's almost like the trauma of money and money through their childhood.
Yeah.
It's like I have the means and access, but I act as if I don't.
And I say this is new. I'm 61. These revelations are only starting to hit me this last decade. Degree to which that I call it buried treasure during the course of the pandemic. The parable of talents where the bad slave or the bad laborer put the talent in the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, I have almost everything I need.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking I need to. This is all buried in the basement of the house, buried in the closet, because I'm like, I was raised in a culture where we just held on to stuff, held on to stuff just in case.
Yeah.
And I was like, but if I take this stuff, first of all, it's not being beneficial to me if it's buried, but also if I leverage this stuff, I get more stuff,
Absolutely.
which is the whole point of the service that invested in it.
Yeah.
But like you said, but if you came up with a certain environment where scarcity was the reality, and it may have made sense at the time.
Yeah.
It does a disservice to you.
Absolutely.
When you actually have the resources, including relationships, that you don't even take advantage of because you think, no, I'm good with what I got.
Yeah.
And you got to continually challenge yourself too, because like I said, that stuff manifests in big ways and small ways.
Yeah.
Like recently, I got I got a Mac, man. So Mac, you got to have all these cords and dongles to connect to different stuff. Yeah. So I be, between working at the office and working at home, I be taking my little stuff in my bag. Then every now and then I forget something and be like, I forgot it. And Ronnie like, man, if you just don't get one for the office and one for the house, what are you doing? She said, don't get one ticket. She said, I want you to have one in the office, one in the house, and just keep one in your bag at all times. And I was like, that would be a great $100 investment, Ronnie. Nice God, you a genius, young lady. I'm like, this ain't taught you a spell. Y'all Spellman sisters got it going on. You're like, one at the house, one at home. Man. And I get all this on Amazon.
But
like
from a certain background, doesn't actually feel like waste. Right. It actually feels like waste when you come through. I was like, no, why can't I have more?
Exactly.
Why can't I have more than those?
Exactly.
So like I said, it ain't even like, I'm good with the big stuff. Sometimes it just be like little simple stuff like that.
Yeah.
I be like, you're right. This is crazy.
Well, I've been asking myself lately, sometimes when I want to like trip over stuff, I'm like, if I was a billionaire, would I care about this? Mm. Like if I lost $700 and I was a billionaire, how much sleep would I lose over? Now that doesn't mean you want to throw money away,
right?
But it's about perspective.
Absolutely.
It's like, So if I invested $1,000 in this course, and I didn't get anything out of it,
right?
Would I care?
Yeah.
No, I'd be like, okay, 1,000 here because this is what I do know, and I've known since I was practically from birth. If you look at both sides of the ledger and you're honest about it, no matter what you lost, you gain more than the course of your life. I agree. I always tell my kids, count both sides of the ledger. No matter, let's say you lost $5 fell out of your pocket.
Yeah.
How much has come to you that you had nothing to do with?
That's the truth. Yeah.
So if you think like that, then you say, okay, I'm gonna take a chance and invest in this business. Yeah. I'm gonna take a chance and maybe it's a waste. Or I'm gonna take a chance and take this trip that my mind is telling me I can't afford to take, but I'm gonna take it, and maybe I don't have a good time.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna regret it.
But the other thing though too, and we talked about this in the car. The other thing though too is that we don't even know what part of the puzzle that little investment that we made that we may have not liked at the moment has done. Like how those full circle moments actually happen. Because when we think about the things that I don't feel like doing this or this is a waste. There's a lesson in that, and that lesson might lead you into something else, and so, so to that point though, like even when we think something is wasteful, or when we think that, we're doing the wrong thing, it actually is benefiting us, because if we change the perspective of our mind and look and say that we are 100% successful in every adversity we've ever been through, like everything you've ever been through, if you could hear our voices right now, like if you've been through it, you've overcome it, and it is that story that has able to help you be who you are today. So I love it, man, and I love this time again, because I think that, to your point, you have to surround yourself with people who are doing better or who are in a mindset of being able to challenge you, right? Because I remember I was a CEO of a bank. People were like, you leaving to do what? I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. They were like, what, right? Because I'm the top, right? I'm the top dog. Like, I got the ML 350. I got the Mercedes. I got the shoes looking good. I got the metal 007 briefcase. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like I had a good position. Mm-hmm. I was making good money, but was I building my legacy? Right. Like when it's all said and done, I didn't own the bank. I reported to the shareholders, right? And so, it's definitely about that legacy. It's about being around that circle. Because God knows, I'm telling you, Alfred was in town. I said, let's go see Lamar's place again. Because the last time I was here, I got inspired on a different level. I said, I wonder what I can be inspired to this time. Let me see.
Now it's the devil up. Because you inspired me on the way here. Then I was like, man, you sound like Lamar, man. You sound like Lamar. I'm Lamar's slow student.
Hey guys, this is Lamar Tyler, creator and founder of Traffic, Sales, and Profit. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Then scroll down below because I have links to us, right, me and Traffic, Sales, and Profit on our social platforms. I want to make sure you get all the free content, the free challenges, and information about our events. The best place to do that is on social. Joins tens of thousands of entrepreneurs just like you that are working to hit the next level in their businesses.